Life is not a set of continuous problems that you're just solving one by one by one. This is how most people just treat life. They're just solving problems, and they think that the way they solve those problems, the efficiency of the solutions, and just which problems they solve, which problems they choose to work on defines the entirety of their life. And look, I'm not going to deny the existence of problems. Of course, there's problems to solve, like figuring out how to make money, figuring out which person you want to settle down with, if you want to have kids. All of this stuff, these can be viewed as problems, trying to get from state A to state B. That is like what a problem is. Like when you don't want to be here right now, you want to solve a problem and transfer yourself into a different state of being. But this isn't the entirety of life. If this was the entirety of life, or if you treat this as the entirety of your life, you will be spiritually bankrupt. You'll feel this emptiness inside you that you won't be able to explain. And you'll just solve problem after problem after problem. And maybe it'll slowly dawn on you, if you're lucky, that there is an infinite number of problems and that you're never going to ever be free of those problems. And if that dawns on you, again, further, you might be even luckier still to realize that there might be a way out of this cycle of infinite problems. And so this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. So problems exist, but it's your identification with the problems that actually creates this just kind of nihilistic, endless suffering. And you can use philosophies to try justify the existence of these problems, like absurdism, if you've heard of that philosophy, where it's just like, why do anything? Why try to solve all these problems? Just like kind of out of a rebellion against the universe, even though it's completely meaningless, I'm just going to keep trying. Or you might have a religious ideology. Why am I solving these problems? Oh, it's so I can go to heaven, so I can like be with God in heaven, and all of these different like thought patterns. But these are all justifications. These aren't actually ways out of the cycle. The way out of the cycle is to change fundamentally what you identify with. If you identify with your mind and your ego and this kind of seemingly separate self, the voice in your head, you will never ever be free. That system, the mind system, the ego system, will infinitely generate problems. It is its job. Its job is to keep you alive, to help you survive. And survival is just a continuous set of problems that you're solving for your body and your being. But yes, this doesn't free you from suffering. This focusing too much into this will actually bring you a lot more suffering. And so we need to widen our identity. We need to widen our perspective and kind of take a bird's eye view on this whole mind system, on this whole ego system. We need to step out of the box. We need to open our minds and see what's behind, like the essence of what's behind your mind. And this is a continuous exploration process. But it at its culmination, in a sense, and this word is kind of weird to use here, but in its culmination, it's something like liberation, enlightenment, where you fully see through the self-structure. You see that you're just selfing all the time. You see that you're constantly just making up this story of who you take yourself to be. But you're not actually that person. You're not those thoughts. You're not the body. You're not the mind. You are something that's beyond that, something that is free from these problems. And something is even too much of a thing to call it. It's more so, it's just an ineffable, unexplainable presence. That's probably the best way you can put it. And so, if you are mind identified, you're always going to be running into problems. If you step out of the mind, there are no problems to be seen. You fall into this oneness consciousness, and from that place, it's like, how could there be a problem? If everything is you, if everything is joined together, if everything is in unity, how can there be a problem? Because, like I defined at the start, a problem is getting from state A to state B. It's to change your set of circumstances in a way that makes you feel better. But if everything is one singular unified field of just presence, there is no way to stand apart from yourself. So there are no set of circumstances that would change your essential being. You are going to be the same no matter the circumstances, because you've integrated all of the varying different circumstances into yourself. So you're always you, you're always whole, no matter where you are. So there aren't problems. There can't be a problem. You can only have a problem if you are separate from your environment. That is the survival brain. That is the monkey brain. Separate from my environment, I need to gather resources, protect myself, get shelter, take care of my family. That doesn't make sense in oneness. That you still do those things. You don't just die off. I mean, some people do, but you don't just pass away immediately. Your body will still take care of those survival needs, but you're no longer caught up in the drama of the whole thing. You no longer feel like your life is at stake. And that is what identity is. It's the fears that surround your sense of self that kind of bind you into who you take yourself to be. So fear is literally there to maintain what you identify with. You can see if you're reaching the outer edges of your identity by how afraid you are. When fear rises, you know that, oh, okay, this is unexplored territory. This is who I think I am. And this is where we challenge our most fundamental beliefs, like I'm a person, I'm thinking these thoughts, I'm saying these words. There is something called time, and I exist in a world where it's the present and it's going to be the future and there's a past. All of these foundational thoughts get challenged when you're questioning your identity. And so this video is just kind of like a crack in the armor of that so-called self you take yourself to be. Is that really you? Is it generating an infinite set of problems? If so, is that fun? Is that annoying? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you think that's just the way that life is? Do you think I'm a crazy person talking about these things? Or are you like, okay, there might actually be more to life than this. Like, holy fuck, like I don't want to live like this. Just always wound up in my mind, in my problems, always just trying to push through, and the problems never run out. So hopefully this video helped, or it might not help. It might actually make things worse and then better a bit later down the line, but we shall see. Anyhows, thank you for watching. And as always, peace and love.